Okay. Da-dum.
So just join the same voice channel as Elin, and Elin will...
Okay. Is this working?
Is it working for you, Kurt?
Looks
Oh,
fine
I'm
to
getting
me.
over there now.
Getting over there now? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't coming up.
It's working for me. Hi.
I want that material now.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, I
someone
mean,
staring
wants
at it. I
to
want
watch
it
okay,
now.
let's start. So we grabbed this texture here from just Google and throw it onto a plane. And obviously when, I mean, we can just do the scaling here, but
Great.
first set it to repeat. I'm doing it with the UV. So I'm just scaling it in the UV, and you can obviously see there are those seams here.
Дебил тут.
Okay, so how do we get rid of those seams? The old method would be to take the good old cloning brush and paint over it manually. But we are in the age of AI, so we will do it a little bit easier. Okay, so first off, there need to be a little bit of preparation. And that's something you can do in any picture editing software that supports layers. So in my case, I'm just using Affinity Photo. And most of the time, I also start with a square image. So I go
Кто такая мне указывать?
124 on 124.
Девка какая-то ходит за мной, Наташа. Да я не знаю, что это такое Серега скачал.
Let's
Ага,
throw the
вон тебе, да, я
texture
тебя в
in
носу
here.
ковыряю, блядь.
Cut the part we want. So
Сука.
maybe this one is too much
Ага.
of a contrast. So this
А
will
ты кто-то
get
говорит, это
some
какая-то онлайн-херня, тут
difficulties with
наркоманы
hiding.
сидят одни. Вон,
Wait a
посмотри, как эта херня
second.
происходит, Наташ. Это Серега, смотри.
Second. Who's there so loud? Okay.
I muted them. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So I just take the segment here and let me super quickly just mask this out. So that's, I mean, you can do that in any software. It's just all I do is just cropping it. So I have now only the square, and then I'm moving it to the top left, then duplicating it to the right, duplicate again to the bottom left, duplicate, and to the right. So actually, what I did now is simply a cross split. So the center of the image is now all on the edges, and the edges are now all in the center. And now you could actually go in here, create a new layer, select the clone brush, grab something like this here, and layers beneath, and then start stamping this out here. So this is one way how to do this. But
What
yeah,
software package is that?
sorry, what?
Which software package are you using?
That's not just Affinity Photo, but you can do that in Paint.net
Okay.
or in GIMP or in Krita.
Yep.
Right, do I have Paint.net?
Just about any image manipulation thing, I think, will do it. They've all got a clone
Yeah.
brush.
Oh no.
Photoshop has an automatic way of offsetting the images like that too in the
Yeah.
filter.
So that's actually something. Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, I think I should finally do a little script that automates this. I mean, you can do here also some macros, which will actually do exactly the same. That's like the action at Photoshop. But yeah, I don't want to go into it and paint everything manually, so I'm just exporting this now. Just throw it in the good old download folder. Okay, and now you can do this locally. So if you have a good enough graphics card and you have Stable Diffusion installed, you can do it directly on your own computer. But for sake of simplicity, I'm doing it now online on clipdrop.co. That's the online tools from Stable Diffusion. So here under tools, I can just select clean up, select my image, just paint over those seams.
Nice.
And then click on clean. And
You
that's
have to buy a
not.
subscription from them?
No, so only high resolution costs money. For example, when I want to go here with the
Right.
high quality version, that costs money. I mean, it's still not perfect. It's a little bit blurry, and sometimes there are some strongly repeating artifacts, so you can do this again. And that's a bit better. And also you can now go on an upscale. And download it. And let's have a look.
Speedy.
And that's your seamless texture. You still get those repeating pattern. You can see here, that's completely dependent on the kind of texture you're using. You can try to break that up, especially by, for example, trying to replace those parts that are very prominent in the pattern. But yeah, in general, it's just super quickly. And obviously, if you have Photoshop, for example, that's a lot better from the quality, to be honest. So especially when it comes to details, when you have images that don't have much details, Photoshop's generative fill has a really hard time to get this working. But yeah, for comparison, you instantly see that's quite a lot better. But for most basic structures, the cleanup on stable works pretty well. And there's still the bright spots, but especially with some mip mapping in the engine at the end, you can clearly get rid of it. So yeah, that's some basic how to get some textures, and also there is a tool called Materialize.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Forgot about that.
If I find it. Wait, where is it? Hmm. So it is easier when you, for example, when you have the Substance tools. Substance has on Substance Sampler, which you obviously don't have installed. They have a tool to generate textures from your photos, but yeah, it's pretty pricey, and Materialize does a pretty decent job. And fun thing is, it's just a Unity app, so this is all the Unity UI. So for example, you have here the diffuse map. You click on that O for open with that horrible view. Let me quickly grab that link. Okay, so we have the texture, and then it's just you want to create a height map, so click on create, and then you can check the height map. You can change contrast for the height, for example, so something like this. Then create a height map. Then you want to create the normal map based off this. Then most of the time it's just playing around with the values. And also, let's say this is normal maps. Where was that?
Is it the metallic map?
Yeah, metallic map. On this one, I would mainly just keep it completely black. Yeah, because you normally don't want much metallic. Okay. And then show full material. And then you get the height, the offset, and also you can set the tiling. That let's increase it here. Yeah. And at the end you can save each map individually with the S icon, or you go to I think save project. That will just save everything. So there you have it, all your textures in one folder. That's weird image viewer that just opened up. Actually, normal map is inverted. I just saw this. But yeah, that's just something if you quickly want to get some details into your textures. Let me actually there was a way to change the preview plane. No, I don't remember. Okay. More questions for some texture generation?
Have you played around with the tileable image generations via Stable Diffusion?
Yes, and unfortunately, they always lack on details. It's most of the time just pretty, yeah, not really
You mean
usable.
the
I mean,
Excel models?
it creates some fun pictures, especially when you do asymmetric tiling. So, for example, you only tile on the x-axis. That's actually pretty good. So, for example, let me quickly show you something I made with, oh, there was it already. I was too fast. So yeah, when asymmetric tiling came out, I created this one with it.
Oh, neat.
So
Great.
that's pretty neat to create background elements,
Oh,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
a lot of stuff just does not make sense. I think this one, yeah, that's also one I created. Yeah, but you still see sometimes the seams just don't make any sense.
Right. Yeah.
And also, yeah, what's a little bit yeah, sad that the current generation, the current models don't support directly tiling. That's a little bit broken.
Which models are that? Like the Excel models? Or?
Yes, the XL models. I mean,
Oh,
let's.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of lacking in that area.
I mean, that was at least the last status I know, and I haven't
Yeah.
used all the other UIs. I was using Comf UI all the time. But yeah, that's.
Well, I guess masking it out manually then, right? The best way to go.
Yeah, so I think still getting pictures, even when I'm out hiking, it's often where I just, oh, I could use that as a texture. Something absolutely trivial, just a piece of a trail. Just get a picture, throw it into Photoshop with generative fill or clip drop, and get it seamless to get some textures from it. So one thing that's I think that's actually yeah. Yeah, I think that's no longer working. But what is now working? So maybe another shot um, execution is layered diffusion. If you haven't heard of it, that's essentially creating transparent pictures. So what you could do all the time is using the AI models for removing the background. There are plenty of them, and also, I mean, there are just online hundreds. There are so many websites that just do this for you. Just throw in your image.
Even
And
Microsoft Designer will do that now. Will remove backgrounds.
yeah, I mean, that works, but for example, if you have something like a glass, that's not gonna work. So wait, let me quickly see if this works. Forest, top view, and I always write forest wrong. I don't know why. It always has double R. Yeah, tiling does simply not work with SDXR. But what is cool, so for example, oh, come on. We have here now a basic render of a class, for example, and you always know transparency on glass. Mostly impossible to get this transparent. So, I mean, let's quickly see what this is doing with it. Just for comparison. So you always have the background of the glass.
Yeah.
So now let me quickly lock that. Let's see it, I hope. Quickly make sure this is still the same render. Yeah, okay. So then there is here layered diffusion, and let's go with this one enabled. Okay, that's not a very good result. Okay, wait, let's get some negative prompts in there. Nope, that's not working very well. Okay, bad example. Yeah, but here you can already see. So when I save this now and I watch it, let me quickly open it up in Affinity, that actually the glass is also transparent. So that's pretty neat. And especially when you just want some, some sprites to fill up, I don't know, a bar, for example, and you don't want 3D models everywhere. That's just brilliant to just generate a bunch of drinks and then you can place them in there and you have nice transparency on them to make it look realistic.
And you call that what? Diffuse what?
This is called layered diffusion,
Oh, laser diffusion. Okay.
layer diffuse.
Is that an extension?
That is for Comfy UI. It
Laser
is an
barrel.
extension in Forge. This is a variant of Automatic 1111. There it's built in directly.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the current UI I use for most of the new stuff because it's super fast to when it comes to new features, and it also is a lot faster than the original Automatic
Yeah, I've seen it's been
11.11.1.
popping up everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the absolutely king for me is the Comfy UI, but I don't
It
know.
scares me.
Have you ever tried using Comfy UI? Whoops.
No, I've seen it though, with the nodes and everything.
Yeah, it's getting extremely quickly messy, and there's just
Oh, really?
a point where it's has too many options,
Mm.
and it's difficult to stay on track.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh
just
my
the
God.
last thing I was working on, actually. Oh yeah, that's here. Tripo SR. That's 3D model generation, which is
Mm.
pretty bad. But you see, you can do all kind of things. So first off, you have directly LMMs in here. So you have your local ChatGPT directly in here that writes your prompts. You have 3D model generation. You have you can also have a completely canvas for painting.
Oh,
You,
Looks like internet.
um,
Looks like internet.
did he
Whoa.
crash?
She's
Oh,
back. She's
Did
back.
Elin crash? Did you
Oh.
crash him?
Minor internet blip.
bleep.
Yeah, she's moving around her cursor in the disk.
Yes.
Okay, we are back. So running Banter, running Photoshop, Affinity,
Is a bit
Unity,
much, maybe.
2x Blender, and then hitting my GPU with a large language model and a 3D model generator was maybe a little bit too much.
Holy cow.
Yeah. That froze my entire computer.
Yeah, so
Briefly.
with those kind of things, most of the time you have to close as much as possible. But yeah, if you really want to get into detail, then CompUI is your best bet. And I mean, oh, does it not load? No, that seems to be broken. Okay, awesome. Everything's broken.
It's a feature.
Nice.
It's a feature, not a bug, huh? Of this class.
Yeah, I mean, those things happen all the time, especially with stable. Things crash a lot.
Eileen, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
In Banter, what shader are you going to use with that texture to make it sure it pops out properly for mobile?
For mobile, so there is one thing to keep in mind when you are using a bump map, then you need at least one direct light, or else the bump map won't work, which I mostly like to prevent. So The other way would probably be using parallax mapping. Um,
Oh
Wha-
yeah, we love parallax mapping, baby.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Let me quickly
There's
show
no
you
question
how
about
this
that.
texture looks like with some parallax. As soon as my
Oh baby.
Unity loaded. Maybe I should kill stable here.
Hey Ghost Droid, I muted you in the Discord. I don't know if you wanted to mute yourself over there because you're echoing a little bit.
Oh yeah, also little tip. If you have an animation and you want a flipbook from it, so for example, you just have a simple animation sequence. Most of the time, because I'm too lazy to build the sprite sheet myself, I'm using EaseGIF for it to create the sprite sheet for me. That's pretty
That's
handy.
GIF with a J.
No, it's with a G. It's a
With
GIF.
a G.
It's a GIF, not
It's a
a
GIF.
J.
GIF. It's GIF for graphic.
GIF and graphic.
If.
Okay.
You know, it's supposed to be easy
Graphic.
GIF, I think, right? That's supposed
Yeah,
to be like
easy
easy
GIF.
GIF.
Yeah.
Make an
GIF.
easy
Yeah.
GIF.
Yeah, yeah.
I've only, yeah.
Giffies.
What are you saying, Shane?
Okay.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, but if you're English, EZ GIF just sounds stupid.
Easy.
Yeah.
Cheesy peas.
Okay. So
Jizzabiz.
we have those two textures in here, and let's create a new. First,
Alright,
we
what do
want
you
to
got
do a
there?
shader. And also material from the shader. Let's go with the good old quad. Let's go with parallax occlusion mapping. Let's see if I still get it together. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Is that shader graph?
No,
Amplify.
that's amplify
Amplify.
shader.
Oh, amplify. Okay.
Oh, okay, so probably 0.3 is enough.
Wow. Cool.
I mean, you can clearly see it's creating different layers now, and you can increase those layers to 256, I think. No, 128, that's maximum. And yeah, that's a little bit overkill. But if you have resources to spare and you have nothing else in your scene going on, then just go for it. And that's just, let's go a little bit extremer.
Increasing the sidewall steps, doesn't that also remove the that that effect from a shallow angle?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, because you increase. I saw you increase the samples, right? But increasing the sidewall steps, is that what it's called? Doesn't that also affect the shallow angle artifact thing that's happening there?
Oh,
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I haven't seen much difference. I think the sidewall steps,
Probably easier to see
that's
if you.
important when you use the clip silhouette.
Oh.
So let's quickly do this one. Nope, the two, please. Whoops. Do I need clip edges? Nope. Okay. I don't know what, but I broke it.
Undo.
There
Can't
is no,
undo, yeah.
there is the biggest fail in Amplify. There is no undo.
Oh, bummer.
Oh wait, there is an undo. It's an experimental settings, but it's more problems than it solves. Let's see. Somewhere there was the settings. I don't remember.
Maybe try lowering the steps again. Maybe that's what broke it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
oh yeah, so clip edges. You see, it's like you're looking into a box. So
Oh,
when clip
okay.
edges is disabled, it will continue it under the edges. Yeah, but actually, why was silhouette not working? Okay, here we go. So you can actually do some curvature with this. It depends on the viewing angle. It will
Wow.
bend it. And that's now on the X. On the Y, it's not, but you can also set it on the Y. For example, I set it to 10 on 10. That's like this little planet effect. Yep. So that's a lot of fun to play with.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that my brain exploded.
Okay. maybe when we are already in the shader editor, maybe tiny things more. Right, let me see. Yeah, is that correct that the next event starts in 2 minutes? The AMA?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so super quickly. When
That's
you're
right.
doing shaders, you have surface shaders and you have the legacy shaders and UI and imposters, which I never use. And then on the light model, you have standard, standard specular, Lambert, Blinn, unlit, and custom lighting. So I'm just focusing on the three main standard, Lambert, unlit. Blinn is like standard. It's the older model, so Blinn Fong. That's also for glossy effects, but it's not so good as standard. It has less features. So unlit, that's pretty self-explanatory. You just have emission. It's the most performant one and it works great. And if you can use it, you should absolutely use it. When you have something that doesn't have any glossy, instead of using standard, I highly recommend using Lambert because Lambert still has glossy and specular settings, but it's way more performant on the calculation. So especially when just doing diffuse materials, then highly recommend switching to Lambert. And also if you don't have any animated values, no, for example, when you have a time node that increases a number, you can absolutely change the position from float to half. Especially when you have unwrapped models. When you use tiling, this can resolve in some problems after some point. So for example, when the tiling just gets
Yep.
too large, let's quickly add tiling. Obviously, no clip. Yeah, so most of the time you see it in game. In the editor, it's always hard to see, but you get those really pixelated artifacts from the start. So where your UV is at the 0 point, and the farther it goes away from the 0 point. So for example, here we are here at the bottom left corner on 0, and everything in that square will work perfectly fine when you are using half position. But the more it goes into this direction here, so the more distance it has to the square that's between 0 and 1 on the x and y axis, the more position errors you get. And it will start getting more pixelated, more blurry, and also you get some shifting in pixel rows, which result in some sawtooth effect. So that's just to remember. But when you are in a certain radius, or especially if you have unwrapped models, you can absolutely go with half position. It saves. It's a great performance saver, and yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, it should be the default, and only when you really need float position, you should be able to turn it on. Okay, that's it. I would say we jump over to the AMA.
Brilliant.
Nice.